All right, guys. Everybody grab a drink. We're going to start in a seated position. All right, so seated comfortably. Just let the knees fall open. You can have one foot in front of the other, crossed over. It's either way. Shoulders, add some nice, easy little shoulder rolls. Drawing the full, strong inhale. Full, strong exhale. I'm gonna let the shoulders relax easy. Hands can stay on your knees. They can go to the floor, whatever you'd like. Sitting tall and breathing. Now leading with the top of your head. Let's take a little circle and scoop out a big space around you. I'm gonna let my chin and neck and ears move with this. Not my ears, but I'm gonna let my ears move to my shoulders. Chin up to the ceiling, ear to shoulder, chin to chest. Let's come to the top and hold it here. I'm gonna go the other direction. Inhale and exhale. Then I'm going to come back to the top and I'm going to hold it here. I'm going to lean into my fingers, keeping a long straight back. So as I'm leaning into this, try not to lose your back. So keep leaning. Think about maybe pressing your belly forward this time. So into your fingers or into your elbows. And if you're feeling pretty good, your hips might be nice and warm from before, you can take this down, reaching into that fold. Still trying to keep a long back. Now I'm going to press into the floor and round my back. Keeping a little bit of pressure on the floor. Drag this in as I'm coming up. Super slow. Shoulders back. I'm going to lean back and change my top leg or front leg. All right, so we're leaning into the hand. We're going to take a nice deep side bend. So just like we were ending with that last class, and a little ragdoll stretch around and up and over. So take your lean and circle and up and over. Making this really fluid. And we're going to come around to the top and hold it here. We're going to go back the other direction. So take that lean and circle and up and over and lean. Just trying to make this kind of ooey and gooey and slow. We're going to come back to the top, and just like we did before, lean into the fingers. Keeping your back tall, leaning down into your elbows. And then as you can, coming down, bringing your belly toward your feet. Trying to keep the back tall for now. And then we're going to add that round. So maybe go a little deeper, pressing into the floor as we drag these hands in, coming up to sit super slow and nice and tall. All right, so let's go ahead and kick the feet out. We're just going to start with easy little stretch. I didn't start again with my forward fold, so we're just going to do a little bit of it here. So I'm going to take a big inhale, arms are going to come up, and exhale, forward fold. I'm going to flex my feet, and if you need to kind of bend and straighten the knees a little bit here, or bend just to get that little fold. I'm flexing my feet. And then bring your nose toward your knee a little deeper. And bring it up nice and slow. And we'll do that again. Take a big inhale, arms up, scoop that belly. Exhale, reaching out. And then let those hands come down. Feet are flexed. If you need a little bent knee, that's okay. So taking those modifications as you need. working toward the straighter legs, working into that pike fold. And let's bring this up nice and slow. Hello, Ziti. All right, so let's do this one more time. So just like we do with our standing forward fold, we're going to inhale, arms up. And this time, exhale, I'm going to fold and bring my hands behind my back. Press the knuckles away. A little harder for me to get into this fold. Hello, Raz. Hi, Bobby. Reach. I'm going to float the arms to the front, taking that forward fold. And we'll bring this up nice and tall. All right. I am missing something. Oh. All right. I wrote some notes because I want to get some stuff done today. All right. So we are going to do a little bit of, we're going to do a hamstring stretch. We're going to do it a nerve glide. For those of you who, if you've done Climb the Tree with me in Pilates class, it's that unfold and fold kind of motion, just working the nerves in the back of that leg, getting a little deeper into that stretch. All right, so I'm going to start off supine position, so lay yourself back, and I'm going to walk my right knee into the chest. So I'm going to work on pulling this knee in really strong, so hip flexor, knee very tightly pulled in. Now let's just practice on holding this knee here. I'm going to let go, try to keep it in. It might lean out a little bit. Pull it back in as you can. Now, I'm going to hold this leg, and I'm going to come into forward flexion. Now, I'm just going to, you can hold behind the knee. You can hold, I'm going to hold behind the knee. I would say hold behind the calf, but I'm going to hold behind the knee. And we're going to extend, keeping this leg in the same place. And bend, and extend, and bend. So it might not get to full extension, and it might need to be out here a little more. So bend, and extend, and bend, and extend. I'm keeping my forward flexion, so looking toward your belly button maybe, and extend. Now, let's see if we can hold that leg there. Hold it, hold it. So active flexibility. And let's take another bend and extend and hold. Let go of that leg, hold it there. Try not to let it go out any. And let's do that one more time. And extend, maybe it's a little closer. Hold that leg there, hold, hold, hold. And lower the head and shoulders, bend that knee. Walk the other knee in. I'm gonna take my right leg down. We're going to get set up for that nerve glide stretch on the left. So I'm going to lift myself into forward flexion, holding just behind or just below the knee. So I'm going to start with a extend and bend. Now we're a little different on each side. So one side may feel better. And extend and bend. So I'm in forward flexion. If you find your neck getting super, super heavy, you can lay it back. Come back when you can. Scoop that belly, looking toward your belly button. Now extend and hold. I'm engaging my quadriceps, really trying to pull into this, and I'm going to let go and see if I can hold it there. And then hold behind the knee, extend and bend, hold. Hold that leg there, let go, keep it there. And let's do that again. Bend, extend, hold. Holding that leg strong, let go. Try not to let it go out any. Pull it in. Bend the knee, lower the head. Woo, little neck rotation. All right, so we're gonna go into a little 3-point stretch. So I'm gonna take my right leg down, or left leg down, and right leg, I'm just gonna move it around a little bit. So that hamstring should be open a little bit. We're going to unfold and pull the nose toward the knee. So I'm actively pulling this. So this is a passive stretch. I'm helping this leg into this split. So adding a little point and flex if you'd like. Easing into that stretch. I'm going to lower the head and shoulders. And I'm going to bend the knee and open the leg out to the side. So I want to open through my inner thigh, adductors. Excuse me. Now you can create that little brace under the outside of the leg to hold it where it is, or hand inside and press it open. Let's not let this left hip roll with us. So you can even keep the knee bent if you need that little modification. Now I'm going to bend the knee. I'm going to pull it across. Left hand is going to twist this knee over. I'm going to keep my right shoulder on the floor, open up through the palm. Now, if you can, we're going to take this leg over a little deeper. Trying to keep the shoulder on the floor. You can keep the knee bent, or you can extend that leg, reaching out. Feel a little more here in the side of the hip, into the glutes. I'm going to look over my right palm, getting a little cervical spine twist here. Bend the knee back to center, and we're going to do one more little stretch technique, PNF, proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitative. So basically, it's this little exercise where I'm pulling the leg in while I'm pushing my leg into it. So just kind of getting that isometric contraction, and then as I release, I'm going to go just a tiny bit more into my passive flexibility. So I'm helping this leg into it. And if you want to test your active flexibility, you're going to let go and keep that leg in place. So lots can happen here. So you can pull, push, get that PNF, push, 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 and then relax into this a little more passive, pulling that leg into that stretch, active, letting the hands go, keeping that stretch. One more time. PNF, pull, pull and push, pull and push. Now, I'm going to let that push go, and I'm going to pull my leg, actively pulling into the stretch. Then I'm going to keep that leg there, let go, keep it, keep it, keep it, and lower with control. Bring the other knee in. Woo! I promise we're going to get to our back and our shoulders. We're going to take this right leg down. Pardon me, I have a little tickle, so just excuse my coughs. Not a corona cough. Here we go. Lean. Reach, reach, reach. So I'm going to go into my PNF. So I'm going to push into that leg as I pull that leg toward me. So active opposition here. All right, so I'm going to lengthen and pull into my passive. So I'm helping this leg into the stretch. I'm going to keep the leg here and try my active flexibility. Try to keep it. Beautiful, Jen. Oh my gosh. I wish you could all see this. She's amazing. Here we go. Pull and push. Little point and flex if you'd like. Now, passive, pulling on that leg. Active, let go and hold that leg in place. Woo! One more time. PNF, push, pull. Breathing. Try not to hold your breath here, guys. Now, passive, pulling that leg. And active, hold that leg in place. Good. Load, head and shoulder, knees into your chest. Good job, you guys. All right, so let's have a little bit of space around us. And we're just gonna kind of put that little 3-point stretch into a little bit of a fluid motion. So I'm gonna lay down with my arms in a letter T. I'm gonna bend my knees. I'm gonna extend my right leg, and I'm just gonna roll over to my left, bring that left hand toward my right hand toward my left foot, bring it around, back into bent knees. I'm gonna take the other side. So I'm gonna extend my left leg, and then roll toward my right, bringing it around. Woo. Hopefully you're not knocking stuff over like I am. So I'm gonna reach and bring it around and bring it in. You can even keep your legs in a little butterfly. So extend, bring it around. Hello, hips. And extend right, bring it around. Hopefully you guys have enough space around you for this. Extend, bring it around. and bring it in and extend, bring it around and bring it in. All right, so I'm just gonna lay here for a moment in a little butterfly, so feet together, let the knees open. And one of the stretches that I like to do for myself, and it kind of helps me with that hip mobility, and so like whenever we're doing things in like maybe an aerial where we're going from a straddle, rotating into a forward split. So those hips need to be able to have that little bit of motion. So what I like to do for myself, and just try this out, I set my feet a little further apart, and it's basically a windshield wiper, but what I'm trying to do is pull this knee that's going to the inside, really trying to pull it down. You're going to feel this stretch on this outer hip, and then to the other side, so twisting that knee in, and you can let this other knee fall out. So think really big windshield wipers, press that knee in, and press the other knee in. Now my outside hip is coming off the floor just a little bit. Maybe as your back gets a little looser, it can stay down a little lower. And now I'm going to bring my feet into this figure 4, lift up, thread my hands. So I've got my right leg over my left, and I'm just going to pull that left leg in. I'm going to unfold, so there's a little bit of that nerve glide stretching again if you'd like. So extend and bend. Now, I'm going to set the foot to the floor, and using the weight of my right foot, I'm going to twist and pull that left knee to the inside. So maybe feel a little more intensity in this hip. Breathe. And back to center. Let's switch sides. So I'm going to take that figure 4, I'm crossing my left ankle over my right knee, and I'm going to come in and I'm going to thread. Pulling that leg in and taking that little extend and bend. All right, so I'm going to set this foot to the floor, and I'm going to lean to my left, using the weight of my left foot to help pull that right knee across, maybe just a tiny bit more. Hip, getting that nice little stretch, little twist, shoulder staying on the floor. All right, back to center, both knees in. I'm just going to take a quick little straddle stretch here because I'm here. Just taking it out. Now you can bend the knees or extend and really open into the stretch. Little flex and point if you're here. Bend the knees, pull the knees together, and I'm just going to bring it up to sit tall. All right. How we doing, guys? All right. Those hips and thighs are feeling nice and stretchy. Okay, so let's come over to our belly. All right, so little belly stretch. So we're going to be going from swan into scorpion. So we're going to start small. So we're going to start with a little baby swan just to kind of wake the back up. So I'm going to come all the way out onto my belly. And I'm going to start with my hands a little further forward. And I've got my feet about shoulder hip distance apart. So I'm going to inhale. And on the exhale, I'm going to slide the shoulder blades down, lengthen through the neck, and just look out ahead. I want to scoop my belly, even if my belly's still on the floor, I want to scoop that belly. Now you can engage your lower half a little bit and kind of hover the feet if you want. Inhale and exhale down. Let's do that again. We'll inhale, exhale. Nice and tall. And lower. All right, I'm going to slide my hands back just a little more. Inhale. And then exhale. Think about drawing the shoulder blades down, elbows in, bringing that belly off the floor, scooping the belly. And I'm going to lower with control. Inhale. And exhale. Lower, easy. Take a quick child's pose before we go into this next little set. All right, so for this next one, we're gonna start in a swan, press up, and then go into a letter T, and you're gonna rotate 1 foot over. All right, so we'll just start off. So I'm gonna start with my hands, and I'm gonna take my feet a little wider apart. So I'm gonna inhale, exhale, and lift. Now as I lower, I'm gonna slide my right arm out, and I'm gonna lift my left foot, bring it to the cross, stop it easy. So you can take it just a little ways, or you can take that foot back a lot of ways. All right, so we're gonna bring it back over to our belly and slide that hand in. Take a swan, lift, and lower. I'm gonna reach out my left arm. Right leg comes up and over, and I get this nice little shoulder opener, get that big twist, and back to center, feet are apart, legs are active, slide the hand in, and press up to your swan, and lower, right arm goes out, left leg reaches across, and bring it back in, swan, big press, and lower, left arm, right leg. See if you can get that foot a little closer to the hand with these. We're gonna bring it back in, swan, big press up, and lower, right arm, left foot comes out toward the hand, maybe it touches, and bring it in, and swan, lower, left arm, big twist, woo, bring it back, and press back for your child's pose. Take your time, let yourself sink and really stretch. Okay, so if you have a yoga strap or a strap, something that you can help yourself into some of these stretches, I would say get one of those, have it handy. All right, grab a drink of water if you'd like. Okay, so I happen to have a yoga strap, and I have a little loop already tied on mine. And for this, I can hook my foot and easily pull into it. I have that loop for that added leverage. So you don't have to, but you would have to choke up on both ends. So just think about how maybe you want to assist yourself with your stretch. We're going to be getting some shoulder stretches and some hip flexor and quad stretches. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to start in a kneeling position. I'm going to step my right foot forward, and I'm going to lean into this stretch. So hip flexors, we got those hamstrings, they're nice and open. I'm just going to take an easy lean back, getting that hamstring stretch. I don't want it to forget all this good stretching we did. And now I'm going to walk both hands to the inside. Let me turn around. Both hands to the inside. And I'm going to take this down. Leaning, so I'm going to lean into one elbow. Maybe the other elbow comes down. Maybe you're still here on your hands, and that's totally fine. So I'm going to really think about deepening this hip flexor stretch. Now, this is iguana. You can allow this top leg to kind of rotate out a little bit if you'd like. A little different stretch in there. All right, so I'm going to come back up to top. And in my kneeling stretch, I'm going to bring my back foot toward my hip. All right, so if you wanted a little bit of help, you could loop it and let that strap do the work. Woo. All right, so I'm gonna take this down. And I'm just gonna heel toe my foot to the inside. So my right foot's gonna heel toe over to the left, and I'm gonna come down into my pigeon. So nice and tall, shoulders back. Keeping your posture really tall, lengthening through the neck. All right, so keeping that strap handy, I'm going to pop my back foot in, pulling toward my hips. Now you can continue to use the hand. You can hook the big toe in the crook of your elbow. You can reach over, create a little bind. Or if you're super bendy, like a couple of ladies out there, I know you are, you can reach back and grab the foot and add this little overhead reach. I am not bendy, therefore I need my strap. Opening through the shoulders and the chest, keeping this posture tall. Now, I'm going to carefully, slowly release. And I'm just going to come back into a child's pose, quick little stretch. All right, so just one more little stretch from that kneeling position. So I'm actually going to come back out into my lunge and just rotate. Adductor. I wasn't efficient with my last little sequence, so we'll add this one in properly next time. Getting that nice little stretch, and if you can, sink down into this bottom right heel. You can even add a little bind. I'm reaching my hands in the direction of each other, looking good. If you're not here, just set both hands on the floor. All right, so I'm just gonna rotate back over into my little child's pose. Woo. All right, so we're gonna get the other side. Coming in from your kneeling position, left foot is gonna lead forward. I'm gonna start with that low lunge, getting that hip flexor. Keeping the belly button drawn in, shoulders back, thinking about that lengthened posture.
This feels really good, Tina.
I agree.
All of this felt really good.
My hips have just been like giving me so much grief. All right, so I'm gonna set my hands down and we're gonna move toward that little iguana. So I'm leaning forward, coming down just a little deeper, and if you can, we're gonna come into the elbow. If you're not there, just take it as low as you can. So I'm trying to get my shoulder just kind of lower than my knee. But really thinking about this hip flexor stretch. And we're a little different on each side. All right. Forgot to grab my little hamstring stretch here, so let's not forget about it. All right, so I'm going to come back into this kneeling position. Got my strap handy. You can bring the foot toward your hips, finding balance, or not. And working on pulling that heel toward your bottom. So you can use your hand to help that foot in. Oh, I'm really imbalanced on this side. Heel toward your bottom, or using that strap and pulling, breathing into that stretch. It's gonna be a little intense on that knee. Take a break if you need it. All right, so I'm just going to take this down, and I'm going to heel toe my left foot across toward the right side of my mat. I'm going to come down into my pigeon. This time I just left the strap around my foot, and I am going to pull this leg in, nice and tall. You can also tuck that toe into the crook of your elbow, add a little bind. You can go overhead with that bind. And for the shoulders, so I'm going to start with this palms up, and then I'm just going to rotate elbow up.
All right, Jen. She looks like a Cheerio.
We might have to untie her one of these days.
I know, we're gonna have to undo her.
Stuck. And very carefully, slowly release it down. Let's just stay in this pigeon for just a moment longer. All right, and I'm just going to take this off the foot. We're going to get that little adductor stretch as we did before. So I'm just going to set up with my left foot in that kneeling position. Rotate. Sink. Now sinking into this left heel, taking that bind. And it might be easier on one side. Woo. Keep it strong. All right, guys. So I'm just going to come to center as you can. Hello, Miss Marley. We're going to take a little forward fold, resting your weight into your hands. Let your head relax forward. I'm going to take just a couple of hip drop and lift. So drop and lift. And as I come into that lift, see if we can press our chest toward that space between our knees. Now I'm going to reach my right arm toward my left ankle, and I'm just going to bring my left arm up and around, so getting a nice little twist, a little open stretch. Trying to keep those legs as straight as I can and finding them bending, and bringing that left hand down to center and release. Couple little bend and straighten here. Now, take that fold, top of your head toward the floor. And I'm going to take my left hand in the direction of my right ankle. Taking that right arm up and twist it around. Releasing that right arm back to the floor. Left hand to the floor, taking that forward fold. And if you can, bring both hands out around your ankles and pull yourself into that fold. All right, so I'm just gonna come down to my knees. A little child's pose and stretch. All right, so I'm gonna come to hands and knees. We're just gonna thread the needle here. So I'm gonna start with my knees about shoulder distance apart. Right arm is gonna reach out, and I'm gonna slide it under. So let your head rest on the floor, and I've got my right hand, back of the hand, pressing into the floor. I've got my left hand pressing myself into this twist. Make sure you're breathing, not holding your breath here, guys. Now I'm going to reach this left arm up just like we did before and drop that hand behind and see if we can rotate the shoulder open a bit, keeping this bottom hand kind of active, helping me to press into this twist. Try not to hold your breath. Reach it up, back to the floor, and unwind it. Let's take that other side. Left arm is going to reach, thread it through. I'm going palm up, head is on the floor, shoulders on the floor. I'm going to use my right hand to press into that twist just a little deeper, guys. I'm going to keep my left hand on the floor, active, pressing in. Right arm is going to reach up, and then behind, opening through the shoulder and the chest. And I'm going to release and come on down and unwind. Taking a little child's pose. All right. So I'm just going to come to sit cross-legged, however's comfortable. Now for this one, you will need some type of a belt or a strap. If you have an elastic band, these work as well. These are actually maybe a little more forgiving. So what we're going to be doing is taking this overhead, shoulder, up and forward. Now my shoulders are a little tight and I'm kind of experiencing some stuff with my right. So this one has been really beneficial for me. So taking it up and over, adjusting those hands as you need, keeping the tension. Keep it strong. Belly in, chest tall. All right, so I'm just going to take a lean. I'm going to pull to one side and then up. Try not to tip off my hips. I'm going to take that lean and up. All right, so from here, I'm going to take a lean and I'm just going to roll it forward, up, and back. So just keeping it wide. You can adjust your hand spacing if you need to. And then bring it forward and up. Let's take it the other direction. So getting a little side body, getting those shoulders. All right, so let's see if those shoulders are a little more open. I'm going to choke up on mine just a tiny bit, so maybe like one hand space. And we're going to take it up and over. Oh yeah, much better. Up and back. Nice shirt, Ziti.
You like that shirt?
I love that. That wasn't terrible. And up and over. And up and over. Hello, shoulders. Woo.
Oh.
Maybe if I did this one every day, my shoulders wouldn't holler at me.
I know. Who knows? Whew.
One more. Up and over and back. Let's hold it to the back. Hold it. Big stretch. Lifting your heart. Now I'm going to let the hands relax down and take some nice little shoulder rolls. Woo! Hello. Oh. Good job, guys. Good shoulders. All right. I've got about 5 minutes left. So gotten almost everything. So do you guys have yoga blocks?
I do.
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you guys have yoga blocks, I would like you to bring them in. If you don't, we're going to go into a straddle stretch. So for those of you who do not have yoga blocks, I want you to focus on this nice open straddle stretch. Now for me personally, I like to do a little bounce and a little wiggle if I feel my hips kind of getting kind of creepy or hitching up. So just starting on this little bounce, little stretch. Now, if you have yoga blocks, you can bring them around in front, starting off, and I'm going to lean into my hands. I'm going to lean into my elbows. Now I want to try to keep my knees and toes pointing up. So actively rotating those legs back. So you can use the block to kind of help support you. But some of you guys don't need this then. So if you do not need it, you're going to come down into the elbows and we're working toward a pancake. So if you are still here, stay here. You can even just add a little pelvic rock forward and back. So just kind of taking this pelvis into that little stretch. You feel a little different intensity as you lean in and lean off. All right. So if you can, elbows, forearms, chest, belly, reach. It's not for everybody, so if you're not here, I want you to just kind of focus where you are. Focus on those little pelvic tilts, anterior, posterior tilts. Okay, so the next thing we are going to do with our yoga blocks, if you don't have yoga blocks, you can continue to do these little pelvic tilts. Sorry, my hair is giving me all kinds of issues today. And we're going to do our little balance. So if you have yoga blocks and you haven't tried this before, I think it's kind of a fun little challenge for balance and flexibility. So I'm going to bring my feet up and I'm going to tuck the blocks just kind of right behind my thighs. So the closer in they are, the easier this is. So I'm going to extend those legs and I'm going to lift my hips. I'm going to try to cover my feet if I can, and then lower. So just practice that a couple times. So lift and lower, and lift and lower. All right, that's pretty easy. You're going to walk it out. All right, so.
I'll tell you what, these feel better than those wooden ones.
Oh my gosh, yeah, those are tough. Yeah, and lift, hover, 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 balance, and down. Let's do one more if you can. And lift, hover, 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 and down. All right, let's see if we can take them out one more. Take them further. Yeah. You can get past your knees to your calves. That is like getting it really, and then you can even add like other blocks. You can stack blocks and go higher. So that's little challenging goals. All right, so I'm gonna start with my feet up, engage quads, and then lift. Oh, try to do that.
Yeah.
Do it up. And so, I think we have one more in us. So ready?
I did that really hard slap down at the end.
So I'm going to start by engaging my legs, engaging my quads. Inhale, exhale, lift and hold, hold, keep reaching, and down. Woo. That was not 10 seconds, but it felt.
Woo.
You guys, good job. Actually, I'm just going to go into a little cross-legged sit. Take a nice little side bend.
Oh.
And over. And over. All right, on this one, lean into that hand, take that lean, rotate forward, rotate open, and bring it up. Let's take it to the other side. Take that lean, rotate forward, rotate up, and back to center. Do that one more time each side. So lean, rotate, open, and up. Last one, guys. Lean, rotate, open, and up. Whew. One arm across for a little posterior deltoid. Bend the elbow for little triceps. Bring the arm overhead for a little more triceps. Nice and tall. Grapevine. Reaching the other arm around. And release. Let's take it across, posterior delt. Triceps. So bend the elbow, just reaching back. Overhead. And grapevine. Let's take both arms out, thumbs up, palms back. Interlace to the front, press, 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 scoop your belly, tuck your tailbone. And we'll take it open again, thumbs up, palms back. Turn it all the way over, thumbs up, palms back, and press up a little bit. Little shoulder rolls, guys. Sitting tall, everybody. Nice deep cleansing breath. And you guys, thank you very much yet again.
Thank you.